Hi there, everyone. I'm Jack Church, and welcome to my podcast, The Jack Church Show. You may be joining us via our YouTube channel as well. Either way, we certainly appreciate you being here. If you're watching on YouTube, behind me you can see Nissan Stadium, home to the Tennessee Titans National Football League team. Yes, I'm in a new location for the year 2021, and it's going to be a year of first for me. Lots of first. First of all, I've moved to a brand new city, that being the Nashville, Tennessee area. I'm actually in the community of Franklin, but that's located just outside this large and bustling city that is growing by leaps and bounds. At last check, the metropolitan area has almost 3 million people. That's a big change from my days that were spent out in Southern Oregon the last couple of years with my beautiful bride Pam at my side. Of course, in 2019, Pam went to heaven. And then I was left with a year to figure out what am I going to do with my life in moving forward. And that's what we talk a lot about here, is how do we keep moving forward? It can be tough. We all recognize that, no matter what your loss may be. The year 2020, everybody says, oh, let's put it in the rearview mirror. It was absolutely terrible. But at the same time, there were some good things, I'm sure, if we really think hard about 2020. For me, it did provide a lot of opportunity to reflect on what was, what could be, and just how much potential there is in the future. So as I move towards the year 2021 now, we're in it for a few days now, and looking ahead, I'm actually pretty optimistic. Now, a lot of people might look at my situation and go, oh my gosh, what do you have to be optimistic about? Well, first of all, it's going to be a year of first for me. First time since college, I moved across the country without Pam. For the first time since college, I went out and got my own place to live, all by myself. For the first time ever since college, I decorated the place. I think I did a pretty good job. For the first time ever, I'm going to live in the Nashville, Tennessee area. And for the first time that I can remember, I start the year off not working for somebody. Now, I'm not going to call myself unemployed, but of course, I've got the podcast, I've got our YouTube channel, so I'm still working, just not getting much of a paycheck. That's all a first. But I'm also, again, as I mentioned, very optimistic. The future really does hold, I think, some great opportunities ahead. Now, I know we've all heard all these so-called experts and such that give us the positive reinforcement and how you can do anything. Well, the reality is you can't necessarily do anything, but you can try anything. You can try anything at least once, we know that. So we have to come to expect that there'll probably be some failures along the way, and I've come to realize I'm going to have some failures in moving forward in the new year. But I've also learned through past experience that I'm going to have some successes as well. And you can too. Sometimes we have to kind of be a little realistic about what we're going to do and maybe take it up a notch or two from that though. Raise the bar a little higher. And for me, the bar is going to be pretty high this year with all those firsts I'm talking about. And I do think it's going to get better. Will it be easy? No, it's not going to be easy. And there is something very true about that old adage of, nothing ventured, nothing gained, no pain without gain. We're going to have all of that. Now, through it all, too, I'll still have those moments where I miss my beautiful bride, Pam. In fact, I had one of those moments today. I got up and here was another first. I went and tried a new church. It's a new community. I've got to do some church shopping because, at least for me, I like to have a place of worship. First time. And I shed a few tears when they were playing some songs and such that reminded me of our time together in church. And as I looked around the congregation and saw lots and lots of couples and families. But all in all, it really wasn't bad. I had a good worship experience. And it's going to be a year of first as I find my new church home and where I'm going to serve, where I'm going to volunteer, and hopefully help others. So what am I trying to tell you? I guess I'm trying to tell you that we can do this. We can make it through the year 2021. Now, somebody asked me the other day, they said, aren't there like 50,000 podcasters out there? What makes you think yours is going to break through? And I said, you're right. There are 50,000, maybe more podcasters out there. The key is going to be, for me at least, to remain consistent, continue putting the information out there, the programs out there, and hopefully growing this podcast. And I'm seeing growth. It's slow and steady. And somebody said, well, what makes yours any different? Again, they're asking that question. Again, what makes it different? Well, I thought about that, and I didn't go into this blindly. I searched out different programs, people talking about moving through grief and loss and moving forward and things like that. And a large majority of the people I were hearing were women, and they did a great job with it. And then I heard a lot of these experts, psychologists, psychiatrists, not psychiatrists, but you know what I'm saying, psychiatrists, and other experts in the field. And the one thing I noted with the vast majority of them was that while they were the so-called experts in the field, when they're talking about loss and things like that, many of them had never experienced the type of loss that you and I have. So I guess my goal is that maybe I'm a little different voice out there. Oh, I'm sure there's others like me, but there really aren't that many men out there doing this type of program because, let's face it, men don't like to talk about things like this. They don't like to get into touchy-feely subjects. They don't like to talk about emotions. They don't like to admit that they cry. But we do all of those things. And I enjoy sharing that information with you. And I'm hearing from all of you many, many times over, and I appreciate that. So that's about it for today. What are we going to do? We're going to keep putting one foot in front of the other. We're going to keep getting out of bed every morning. We're going to keep putting ourselves together. We're going to keep putting ourselves out there. Did I mention I have met so many people, new and exciting people in my new community, but it takes effort. You got to make that step forward. You got to speak to folks. You got to talk to them. My sweet Pam always had a great line that she would use in our kids because we moved a lot. Whenever we moved to a new city, Pam would always say, hey, you got to be a friend to make a friend. And so that's what I'm trying to do. And of course, you folks watching and listening, in a sense, you're my friends as well. So again, that's it for today. Be sure and share the message with those that you think might benefit from our program here, whether it's on YouTube or on podcast. Our podcast, that is, available from all the major platforms right now. And I want to hear from you as well. You can drop me an email. The email address is thejackchurchshow@yahoo.com. That's thejackchurchshow@yahoo.com. Until we see you next time, make it a great day. And you know what? A better tomorrow. Bye now.